A citizen of Uzbekistan was charged and detained by a Russian court with killing a senior Russian general and his assistant following a bombing with an electric scooter, which was later claimed by Ukraine's security services, Russian state news agency Tass said Thursday. The agency said Akhmadzhon Kurbonov was ordered detained until February 17 following a bombing that killed Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov, the chief of Russia's radiation, biological and chemical protection forces. He was also charged with illegally manufacturing explosives. Kirillov was killed Tuesday as he left his southeastern Moscow apartment by a bomb hidden on an electric scooter outside his building, a day after Ukraine's security service leveled criminal charges against him. His assistant, Ilya Polikarpov, also was killed. Kurbonov, previously referred to by news agencies as Akhmad Kurbanov, was detained by Russian security services Wednesday. Shortly after he was detained, Russia's Federal Security Service, or FSB, which did not identify him, said he was born in 1995 and was recruited by Ukraine's security service. The Associated Press could not confirm the conditions under which the suspect spoke to the FSB. He said he had been promised $100,000 and resettlement in a European Union country in exchange for killing Kirillov, according to the FSB. The agency said that acting on instructions from Ukraine, the suspect picked up a homemade bomb in Moscow, placed it on an e-scooter and parked it at the entrance to Kirillov's apartment building. He rented a car to monitor the location and set up a camera that live-streamed the scene to his handlers in the Ukrainian city of Dnipro, the FSB said, detonating the bomb when Kirillov left the building. Kirillov, 54, was the head of Russia's radiation, biological and chemical protection forces.
A senior Russian general was killed by a bomb hidden in a scooter outside his apartment building in Moscow, a day after Ukraine's security service leveled criminal charges against him. A Ukrainian official said the service carried out the attack. Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov, the chief of the military's nuclear, biological and chemical protection forces, was killed as he left for his office. Kirillov's assistant also died in the attack. The SBU has said it recorded more than 4,800 occasions when Russia used chemical weapons on the battlefield since its full-scale invasion in February 2022. Russia has denied using any chemical weapons in Ukraine and, in turn, has accused Kiev of using toxic agents in combat. Kirillov, who took his current job in 2017, was one of the most high-profile figures to level those accusations. He held numerous briefings to accuse the Ukrainian military of using toxic agents and planning to launch attacks with radioactive substances, claims the Ukraine and its Western allies rejected as propaganda. The bomb used in the attack was triggered remotely, according to Russian news reports. Images from the scene showed shattered windows and scorched brickwork. Russia's top state investigative agency said it's looking into Kirillov's death as a case of terrorism, and officials in Moscow vowed to punish Ukraine. Dmitry Medvedev, deputy head of Russia's Security Council, chaired by President Vladimir Putin, described the attack as an attempt by Kyiv to distract public attention from its military failures and vowed that its senior military political leadership will face inevitable retribution. Some Russian military bloggers and hawkish commentators made unsubstantiated claims that the US could have been involved in Kirillov's killing. Asked about Kirillov's death, US State Department spokesman Matthew Miller told reporters the United States was not aware of it in advance and was not involved. Since Russia invaded, several prominent figures have been killed in targeted attacks believed to have been carried out by Ukraine.
Flowers were seen Wednesday at the entrance to the apartment building in Moscow where Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov and his assistant Ilya Polikarpov were killed by a bomb hidden on an electric scooter, a bold assassination that was claimed by Ukraine's security service. Russia's security service says it has detained a citizen from Uzbekistan in the bombing. The suspect was identified by Tass and RIA Novosti news agencies as Akhmad Kurbanov of Uzbekistan. The Federal Security Service, or FSB, which did not identify him, said he was born in 1995 and was recruited by Ukraine's security service. The Associated Press could not confirm the conditions under which the suspect spoke to the FSB. He said he had been promised $100,000 and resettlement in a European Union country in exchange for killing Kirillov, according to the FSB. The agency said that acting on instructions from Ukraine, the suspect picked up a homemade bomb in Moscow, placed it on an e-scooter and parked it at the entrance to Kirillov's apartment building. The suspect, who was detained in a village in the Moscow region, according to Interior Ministry, could face a life sentence if convicted. Kirillov, 54, was the chief of Russia's radiation, biological and chemical protection forces. He was under sanctions from several countries, including the UK and Canada, for his actions in Russia's special operation in Ukraine. On Monday, Ukraine's Security Service, or SBU, opened a criminal investigation against him, accusing him of directing the use of banned chemical weapons. Russia has denied using any chemical weapons in Ukraine and has accused Kiev of using toxic agents in combat. Ukraine struck the first target in the Rostov region with British-French cruise missile Storm Shadow/Scalp. As follows from the geolocation video of one of the arrivals of the rocket, the target was the production site of the federal state enterprise Kamensky Combine. The enterprise was established by the Ministry of Industry and Trade of the Russian Federation, and its main activity is production of weapons and ammunition, including for reactive systems of volley fire. A comparison of satellite images of the plant's production site on December 6, 2022, and October 24 of this year shows that production expanded during the full-scale war between Russia and Ukraine. Kamensky is a producer of solid fuel for rockets. Its products are used in ammunition for RSZO, Uragan, Smerch, and Tornado S. There is information about the supply of solid fuel from this company and for the production of ballistic missiles, Iskander. The head of the Center for Countering Disinformation at the National Security and Defense Council, Andriy Kovalenko said, in the Rostov region of Russia, one of the largest chemical enterprises in Russia, Kamensky Combine, was attacked. It specializes in the manufacture of solid fuel components for rocket engines, in particular for MLRS and solid-fueled intercontinental ballistic missiles. One of the largest chemical enterprises in the Russian Federation, Kamensky Combine, was attacked in Rostov region. It is engaged in the production of rocket fuel, Kovalenko wrote on Telegram. According to him, the plant also manufactures explosives, components for ammunition, and utilizes and neutralizes spent missile systems. Considering the importance of the object, it is quite tightly covered by means of anti-aircraft defense. As of the summer of this year, detailed satellite images showed that at least one S-402 Panzer air defense systems were located around it.